Okay, today I'm going to review the Red Kalinka Russian video course. I'm on the homepage now for Red Kalinka, and it doesn't tell you too much information about it here. So I'll click through. It goes through to another link, and then it tells you that it has 160 videos and how long it is, and it tells you a little bit more information. And when you click again, you'll go to the buy page, and I mainly wanted to share with you, my viewers, what it's like behind the scenes on the when you're subscribed to it, because even here on the information page, it doesn't tell you all that much about how the lessons are structured and everything. So all the topics. So it does have a little bit of a preview, and it shows you that you get the 4 stages here. Anyway, before I get into that, I'll just say why I chose Red Kalinka. Originally, I was living close to Sydney, and I was going to do a Russian course at my local university. And I'll go to their homepage here. So I was looking at doing this one. And then what happened is I moved away from Sydney, and I was 4 or 5 hours away from here. So I wasn't able to do the Russian at anywhere else. So it was really, for me, it was really Red Kalinka or nothing. So I gave it a chance, and I'm happy that I did as well. And also, with this course, if you have a look here at the other option, what I would have chosen, they offer 16 levels here. Okay, well, 12 of those 16 would have cost me 4,500 Australian dollars. So that's a lot of money. It might be around, I don't know, 3,000 euros or close to 4,000 American dollars I was looking at spending, doing it the traditional way. So I couldn't do it. So I thought, well, what am I going to do? I started looking at YouTube videos and everything, and I still wasn't progressing enough, and I felt like I needed more structure, more of a structured lesson. So I gave these guys a try, and I thought 29 euros a month, it was almost too cheap. I almost thought, oh, okay. So I thought, it's money back guarantee, so what have I got to lose? And so I did it, and I've just completed the course. So I've been with this course for close to 3 months subscribed. Originally I thought I'll try and finish it in 2 months, and I ended up having a few days off, so it ended up pushing out to 3 months. So when you subscribe, you go get the student access here, and it's at the Red Kalinka shop. So they will give you the link. So I'll show you from behind the scenes now. This is what you get. Okay, so I also bought a few intensive lessons. So you've got the little menu here. So you've got the course, you've got online exercises. I didn't buy the exercises, so I can't review that. And this here, sorry, my webcam's in the way. This is the intensive lessons. I bought originally 2 lessons at 30 euros. I'll quickly show you this while I'm here, because I won't come back to it. I bought Russian prepositions, and I bought Russian verbs of motion originally for 30 euros each one. And then I saw a couple of weeks ago that they lowered the price for all the courses. All of these, there's 8 courses, to 15 euros each. So I bought the remaining 6 And then I also use this code here, super25, to get 25% off. So I got all of them then at a reasonable price. I haven't looked at these yet. I've only looked at 2, and they're like a webinar. The first 4 are in English or Spanish, and the last 4 are all webinars in Russian. So I'm really looking forward to doing those. I'll go back. Okay, so when you are a student of the main course, the one with the 150 videos, this one here, you do also get access to the podcasts, which I didn't know about in the beginning, because I don't think they advertise that well. So you get access to all these 12 podcasts as well, which gives you some additional listening material in Russian. Okay, so I haven't listened to those yet either. So I'll just be talking about the actual course from now on. So when you go into the course, this is it here. You really get the idea that it's divided into 4 stages. I'd previously studied around 50, 60, 70, 80 hours. I don't know exactly how much. I'd done some work with behind the wheel Russian, and also watching YouTube videos, just higgledy-piggledy ones about the cases and things like that. So I already knew some words coming into this, and the first couple of lessons felt like they were too easy. But already by, I would say, the 4th lesson here, somewhere around here, I felt like I was already learning new stuff, so I was pretty happy already. I thought, I didn't know whether the whole thing would be too easy or not, so I didn't find it too easy. And okay, so each one of these is divided into like a topic. There's the first lesson 0 is actually how to read Cyrillic. I didn't need that, but I watched it anyway. And then every single stage, and I'll show you all these more in depth, each one of these is like a topic. So this is my friend, my family, professions, and I'll show you these now. I'll scroll fairly slowly so you can read them if you want, because this information isn't on their sale page. So straight away when I signed up, I thought, oh, this is interesting. So okay, so then there's the stage 2, and then it goes into more topics: food, clothes, my apartment, my city, the weather, things like that, on holidays, going to the hospital. And I really felt I liked the way it was done with topics like that. So then the next stage is that it gets pretty hard by this point, and you get it's a bit tedious, but it's well worth doing. By this stage, it's gone from A1, and I think here it's already A2. So at this point it says welcome to A2 level. And then it goes through at the zoo, whatever, at the office, at the theatre, insects. That was one of my favourite topics, the old insects. And then that's the red level, the hard level, and it goes into more about the genitive case and everything in here. And I also like this space level. And the main reason I'm scrolling this far is to show you the last 4 lessons, or stages rather, are in Russian only. So that even the text, she only speaks in Russian only. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what happens when you click one of these? Let's try a difficult. There's one called a difficult lesson. So the way it works is each lesson is actually divided into 4 videos. Here they are here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I never, okay, I never actually did the last lesson, which are exercises. I decided not to do those, and I just concentrated on the first three. So I've only really done 75% of the course. But this is more revision. Exercises are more revision. So I just wanted to finish it, and I'd rather do a little bit less each time and finish it than try to do everything and then quit. So I thought I'm gonna only do the first three of each one and see how I go. So with the first one, it's always vocabulary and grammar, and the new words will be introduced, and then the last half of this first video is talking about the grammar. I found that the most informative. The last half of this first video of each of them was very informative. Then in the next lesson, they talk about the dialogues, and there's usually about 5, I think, dialogues. And then there's the text, which is a big page of text, and then lastly the exercises. So with the vocabulary, it will be like it'll be from, I think, around 20 to 28 words each time. So you go through one column, you have a break, you go through the next column. And I found that the words were high frequency words, so very useful. It was all very useful words, you know. Then the second half of these videos is always it varies depending on the video, but this is probably when you really want to be paying attention. You don't want to have this in the background going off, because you won't learn anything. You really got to be focused on this. So, you know, this is worth its weight in gold, this section of the lesson. And sometimes there's mini, 5 tables, and sometimes it's just 1 table. And often she'll talk about, this is Anastasia, by the way, the tutor. What was I saying? She'll talk about the irregular verbs as well in here. Okay, so then in the next lesson is the dialogues. So, for example, and it's all in Cyrillic, so I can read this now. So they're only short, and they're just, how are you doing, whatever it says each time. For example here, ja nie lubię piwa. I don't like beer. So ja lubię what is it? Gorchi chai. So Goriachi chai, sorry. I found this okay. It was useful to me, but not as useful as the first video. Then the third one is the text, and we'll quickly have a look at the text. Occasionally in each stage there's not the full 4 videos. There's I think in the very, very beginning they don't show you the text straight away. It's too soon. So I'll quickly try and load this. It's not working for me. I'll reload the page. And like I say, the exercises I didn't do. Okay, I think, yeah, sorry, that was a problem with my computer. I've never had a problem with the Red Kalinka website being down or anything like that. So here's the text for the third video every time you see. So she'll break it down and do the first paragraph, and then you'll have a bit of a break and do the second and third and fourth paragraphs if there are any. I found this the most hard to get through. quite difficult, and she'll analyze all of the cases, all of the sentences, every single case in pretty much every single sentence here. It did help me. You can't just do the first video, this first one here in the grammar, without actually applying it. So it did show me the cases to use in each case, in each sentence. So I'm glad I did it. You'd have to watch this, but I haven't done these exercises yet. I'm not sure whether I have time to do those yet. So I didn't do those. I can't comment on those, but I'm happy with what I got out of the course for 3 months. So it's like €90 only, and it's been amazing. I definitely feel like I've progressed a long way since the beginning, a long way. For example, I've been trying to watch the series Kuchnia on YouTube. In the beginning, I might only know about 10% of what they were saying, and now it's probably more like 60%, more. And keep in mind that's an adult comedy. So I also was able to understand Anastasia when she was speaking Russian towards the end. What she does is she slowly introduces you to more and more words, including the Russian translation for the cases, predložný падеж, vinitelný падеж, родительný падеж, and datelný падеж, and all the other ones, imenitelný падеж. So she'll bring out these words more and more and more and more as you go down, and she will also speak faster and faster and faster as you get through to the course. So it's really quite good, and it's almost at some stages, it's almost like she's reading your mind, because she'd say, "Are you tired?" And I'll be like, "Yes." She'd say, "Russian, it's difficult. It's not that easy in Russian, and it's like, oh, okay. So one of what I liked about the course is that she goes through all the exceptions. For example, when there's an exception to the rule of predložný падеж, the prepositional case, you would think it would be something like on the floor. You'd think you'd say na polje. Well, it's na polu, so which is the locative case. So she goes into a lot of detail about the exceptions. Probably too much for me. I didn't try to remember all of the irregular verbs, because I'm getting a bit older, and I thought, there's no way I'll remember this the first time around. I recommend you sign up for this for, at least 2 months, and probably up to 6 months, I would say, if you're doing it a reasonable amount. I studied this from roughly, I would say the minimum was, when I on the days that I was studying, would be half an hour, like one of these, up to 2 hours was my concentration span each day. Then I had a couple of days off here and there. So at an hour a day, roughly, you can finish the thing in a couple of months. I think I'd like to do it again, at least maybe from the halfway point, to learn more of the irregular verb conjugations. I'll see how I go without that. I'll leave it a while and see how I go. What else was I going to say about this? There's not much I could say negative about Red Kalinka. I really can't say anything negative. They've done a wonderful job, and I don't know how they could really improve the course. It's really that good. I'd say there's one other thing I wanted to show you as well up here. When you're on this main menu, you can also view the all of them in Spanish. So I also speak Spanish, and I thought about staying subscribed so I can do it in Spanish again, to give me revision. So the only ones that aren't translated will be the last 4, which will be all in Russian. And yeah, the only thing I could say to Red Kalinka would be, yeah, maybe you could do more languages for the people, like Italian or Brazilian, or maybe if Anastasia doesn't speak those languages, then get someone else to do it. Because, the people, you might be losing some business there with the people that don't speak Spanish or English. That's the only thing, and I would recommend them. The only thing I thought, I was a little bit worried that, the quality of the videos wasn't good. They hide the HD 720 pixels. I didn't find that an issue. So the sound's very good. The sound quality is very good, and when I was watching the videos, I would always try and lip read, Anastasia's face. So if you do make more videos, it'd be nice if you do in 1080 pixels or something a little bit higher, because this is how big it appears on my screen. But I can read all the words here fine, so that's nitpicking really. I can't really complain about that. They've done a lot of work with this course, and it shows. So I'm hoping that I've downloaded all of the course materials. Here they are here, for example. This is in Spanish, but it'll say this is download the lesson, download the solutions to the exercises, and download the audio. I also never listened to the audio. I just went straight through, because in the first 3 stages, she will read out the text, all of the text she will read in Russian. It's only in the last stage, that's the red stage, that she doesn't read out the whole thing verbatim, just the translation. So I didn't bother with the audio because I'd already listened to a lot of audio with behind the wheel Russian and Spanish as well. So it's not the same voice as well. It's a man and a woman, and they're not the same as Anastasia. So I got used to listening to Anastasia, and I didn't do this. I didn't feel like I needed to, because at the beginning they spoke too slowly for me. But I think it would be good if you're a beginner and you haven't got any other resources to listen to. Just listen to that. So all up, I'm very satisfied. I can't rate it highly enough. I'm really tickled pink, as they say. And now I will be, the next stage for me now is really to get some dual language books, that have English on one side and Russian on the other side. And then also I'm going to continue with listening to Kuchnia on YouTube. And also, hopefully when I go to Russia later this year, maybe speak some Russian and with some Russians, which is the main idea. But while I'm not there, I have to keep practicing. So this has been fantastic, 3 months. As I said, you probably you wouldn't finish this in 1 month. You would have to study this if there's 160 videos or something thereabouts, and they're each it's about, what's that, 160, and each one is half an hour. It's 80 hours, so you'd have to do 2-3 hours a day every day without fail to get everything done in 1 month. I think you'd just be cramming it too much. There's just too much in this course to try and cram it in your brain within only 1 month. And even when I tried to do it in 2 months, some days I just thought, my brain, it can't take this amount of information. So I subscribed for a 3rd month and slackened off a bit towards the end, and then had a break before the 100% Russian one kicked in. So I'm really glad I did it, and I hope it gives you a bit of more of an idea about what you get when you sign up for Red Kalinka. So thanks for watching, and bye.